It happens in front of other people, and it's hard not to feel two things at once. There's pride, a quiet, deep satisfaction that your baby chooses you. And there's guilt, because everyone else is trying and your baby simply won't settle for them. The grandparent who drove 3 hours, the partner who has been trying for 40 minutes, the babysitter who is great with older kids. And then you walk in, and within 30 seconds, the crying stops. People say things like, "They're so attached," or "They just want you." And sometimes those phrases feel like compliments, and sometimes they feel like pressure. But what does it actually mean? Why does your baby calm only for you? And should you be doing anything differently? The answer is more beautiful, more scientific, and more important than most people know. Your baby's nervous system has literally synced to yours. The way attachment works in early infancy isn't metaphorical, it's physiological. From the first weeks of life, your baby's developing nervous system begins to co-regulate with the nervous systems of their primary caregivers. Every time you hold them when they're distressed, every time your heartbeat steadies them, every time your voice lowers the pitch of their crying, every time the smell of your skin shifts their breathing, that's not just comfort. That's co-regulation. Co-regulation is a neurobiological process. Your calm nervous system, through physical proximity and sensory contact, actively helps regulate your baby's immature nervous system. Over hundreds of interactions, your baby's brain builds a specific map. The particular combination of your heartbeat rhythm, your skin smell, your voice timbre, your body temperature, the pattern of your breathing, the specific pressure and warmth of your hold, all of these together create a unique sensory signature. That signature means regulation is available. Safety is here. You can come down now. When someone else holds your baby, even someone loving and calm, that signature isn't there. The baby's nervous system is waiting for a familiar input that hasn't arrived, so the distress continues. It's not that your baby doesn't like other people, it's that their system has been specifically calibrated to yours. You are their external nervous system. This sounds dramatic, but it is literally how developmental neuroscience describes it. Newborns do not yet have the internal capacity to regulate their own emotional and physiological states. They can't self-soothe in any meaningful way. They can make small attempts, sucking their fingers, looking away from stimulation, but these are limited and often insufficient. What they have instead is you. You are the external regulator. Your body is the environment their body borrows when it can't manage on its own. Every time you respond to their distress, you're not just soothing them in that moment. You're doing something more important. You're teaching their nervous system what regulation feels like. You're giving them a template. The baby who calms only for you right now is not a baby who will always need only you. They are a baby who is building the internal map of what calm feels like by borrowing it from you again and again until one day they can access it on their own. You are not creating dependence, you are creating capacity. 3. The science of your smell, why it's more powerful than you realize. One of the most underestimated parts of why your baby calms only for you is olfactory. You smell like safety. Research on newborn olfaction is remarkable. Within hours of birth, newborns can distinguish their mother's breast milk from another mother's by smell alone. Within days, they can identify their primary caregiver's scent from a stranger's. And the smell of a familiar, attached caregiver doesn't just register as familiar. It has a physiological effect. Studies have shown that the smell of a mother's milk or skin can reduce pain responses in newborns, lower cortisol levels, and decrease crying duration. Smell is one of the oldest, most primitive sensory systems. It bypasses a lot of the cognitive processing that neurosensory systems require. A smell that has been associated with safety and care over hundreds of interactions triggers a physiological response, not a thought, a response, before the baby even processes what's happening. When a stranger holds your baby, the smell is wrong. Not bad, just different. The expected input that says, "You are safe, you are held by the right person," isn't there. This is why swapping your worn shirt into a crib or alongside a sleeping baby in someone else's arms can sometimes help. It's not magic, it's chemistry. The second big physiological factor is auditory, specifically your voice. Your baby heard your voice every day for the last months of pregnancy. Muffled but present. Your voice pattern, your typical pitch range, the rhythm of your speech, the way you go up and down in tone. All of that entered their auditory experience before they were born. At birth, they already prefer your voice to other voices. Not because they know you in the way you'll know each other later, because your voice pattern has been the most consistent sound in their world. After birth, every time your voice was paired with calming, with feeding, with being held, with being settled after a cry, that association strengthened. Your voice became predictively regulating. Now, when your baby hears your voice, something happens before you even touch them. Their stress response begins to downshift. It's anticipatory regulation. Their system is saying, the voice that comes before the safety is here. Safety is coming. This is why your voice on a recording or a voice that sounds similar to yours often has some calming effect, but not the same effect as you in person, where the voice is combined with your smell, your heartbeat, your hold. It's the full package that the system has learned to trust. What this means for the people who can't calm your baby. It can be genuinely painful for a partner, a grandparent, or a caregiver who loves the baby deeply but can't get them to settle. It can feel like rejection, like the relationship doesn't matter. But it isn't rejection, and the relationship does matter. It's just early. The baby has not yet had enough accumulated experience with that person to build the same specific calibration. The map is incomplete. The sensory signature isn't fully written yet. What helps is not trying harder in the moment when the baby is distressed. Distress is the wrong time to build new attachment associations. What helps is time in calm, low-stakes interactions. Holding the baby when they're happy and settled, not just when they need soothing. Walking with them during awake, content periods. Talking and singing to them regularly so the voice becomes familiar and paired with positive states. Over time, the map fills in. The baby builds a secondary regulation circuit for that person. They won't replace you. You'll always be the most calibrated one for a while. But the circle of people who can genuinely help the baby settle will grow. The foundation has to be laid in the good moments, not rescued in the hard ones, when it becomes something to look at more carefully. Most of the time, a baby who calms only for one parent is just showing healthy attachment. But there are a few scenarios worth paying attention to. If the baby consistently calms only for one parent and the other parent has had substantial time with the baby and is actively trying, this is worth reflecting on. Sometimes there are subtle things in the way a caregiver holds or handles a baby that the baby picks up on. Tension in the arms, anxiety in the breathing, hesitancy in the touch. Babies read body state with extraordinary accuracy. An anxious hold doesn't feel the same as a confident one. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. If one caregiver is anxious about holding the baby, that anxiety is felt. Working on the caregiver's confidence, rather than the baby, is often the key. Also worth noting, if your baby almost never calms for anyone, including you, and is almost constantly in distress that doesn't respond to feeding, holding, or soothing, that's a different conversation. One that may involve colic, reflux, pain, or sensory processing that warrants a pediatric conversation. But a baby who is generally happy and calm most of the time, and who specifically needs you when distressed? That's attachment doing exactly what it's supposed to do. 7. What to do with this, practically and emotionally. Practically, let it be what it is for now. Don't try to fix your baby's preference for you in the first months. The calibration is serving its purpose. Accept the compliment that it is. When others need to care for the baby, set them up for success in calm moments. Leave something that smells like you. Have them put you on speaker in the background. Let them learn the specific holds and rhythms that work. The knowledge can transfer even if the sensory signature can't. Emotionally, receive this fully. In the chaos and exhaustion of new parenthood, it can be hard to feel the weight of what's happening when your baby stops crying the moment you hold them. But pause with it for a second. Your baby, who has no language, no ability to reason, no capacity to decide, has built an entire physiological system that runs toward you when they're in distress. Not toward the room, not toward comfort in general, toward you. You are the thing their nervous system has decided means safe. That didn't happen because you're perfect. It happened because you showed up. Again and again, in the night, in the chaos, when you were tired and unsure, you showed up. And your baby's nervous system took note of every single time. Subscribe if you want to keep understanding the invisible science behind your baby's attachment. Because the more you understand what's happening, the less mysterious and the more meaningful it all becomes.